I don't really feel comfortable on the camera, but I just wanted to go over a couple things with tonight's dinner that I thought might help you out along your process. I'm doing a crusted, like crushed Parmesan potato, whatever you want to call it. But they're basically a twice baked type of thing where you gotta bake it once, wait till they get soft, and then you take a nice glass with a flat bottom, take your potatoes, and simply just press down so you see the potatoes start to take form. Simple enough. Do that and let them cool down about halfway when you take them out of the oven so they don't just fall apart and they keep form. And then you're just going to want to crush them all and let them cool all the way down before we fry them up for dinner. And I'll be back with that part. All right, so we're at the seasoning part of the potato. And first you want to start out with a nice oil to coat everything, get that nice crust on. I would have showed you that, but I'm holding my phone and it's hard to do both. So, got the nice vegetable oil is what I chose to use to go over it. Of course, you could use whatever oil you want. You want something with a high flash point though, and that means that it isn't going to burn under high temperature. So when using your oil, just keep that in mind that you might not want to use like a coconut oil or anything like that. A peanut oil would be good. A sesame oil would be extremely good. Although they do get a little bit more expensive, but if you happen to have it on hand, perfect. So then we put some salt and pepper on it. I have fresh minced garlic that I like to carry. It's cheap. Keep it on hand. Put just a little bit of garlic over the potatoes while they're sitting in the oil, getting ready to be crusted. Obviously, we're gonna also need some Parmesan. I don't have any fresh Parmesan with me, which is fine. You don't always have to have fresh Parmesan. It does make it cheaper to use just your regular bottled stuff. But these potatoes are absolutely cheap as a side could come and just delicious. My 15-year-old son loves them, so he'll eat anything though, so I don't know if that's saying anything or not. And like I said, don't have fresh Parmesan, so just regular Kraft Parmesan, powdered Parmesan will work if that's what you have on hand. Garlic is nice and spread out over all the potatoes. And I just dust some of the Parmesan over the top as well. Key thing is that oil is going to help all that Parmesan stick to the potato so you get a nice crust on it. I might be a little low on Parmesan today, but we will make it work. And this is what it's starting to look like here. If that's a nice view. Hold on, let me just flip the camera. Oh, I can't because I'm recording. Cool. All right. We're going to talk about the protein a little bit. Today, we got a really good deal on ribeye steak. We got some really nice marbling through there that you can see through the steak. That's going to make it real nice and tender, juicy, just like a ribeye always is. This happens to be a really good cut. We got it for just over $4. You want to allow that to come to room temperature. Alls I do with my steak is salt and pepper. It's all steak really needs at that point is just some good salt and pepper. we can step over some time, some different ways that I like to prepare steak. Happens to be in Asian food, beef teriyaki, beef and broccoli, stuff like that. All good cheap meals that we will go over at some point in time here. But today is going to be ribeye steak, crusted Parmesan potatoes, forgot what I was saying there, and some green beans probably today. And I'm saying that I got my whole meal, nice steak dinner, for under $7. I'll do the total math at the end because I think it's a lot cheaper than that, but it's going to be a good dinner for cheap. All right, so now we get back to the cooking process, and I happen to like these flat skillets. I got an extra large one. It's amazing. I probably use it more than anything else in my kitchen other than my cast iron skillet. I do have a nice cast iron skillet, several. One of my favorite things to cook out of. You just will not get flavor out of your meat, your protein, your veggies, whatever you're cooking out of a normal pan that you will get out of a good cast iron skillet that's seasoned properly. So that's my preference. Okay, now we're getting down to a little bit of cooking. I'm waiting for my cast iron skillet to come up to heat. You want a real high temperature on that because we want to get a very good sear. I'm going to turn my oven on to 425 just in case we need to finish the steak in the oven. I don't know if it's quite that thick. That's more of a thicker steak process. So, want to get some butter, put it on the flat top. That's going to get a nice crispy crust on them Parmesan potatoes that we're making over there. They're going to be great. Always a big hit with everybody. See the potatoes cooking there. They are getting a nice crisp on them. Do not flip them too early because you will sacrifice the Parmesan crust. It will fall off. Got a nice smoke going to my cast iron. You can hear that sizzle. Nice sear on there is what you want. Potatoes will start to look nice golden brown. When it starts to get fun, it's about time to flip the steak. Should have a nice sear on it. Beautiful, beautiful. Potatoes are getting done. Just gonna switch that off and let them cool down right on there since I don't need them anymore. Starting my green beans, simple green beans this time. You can go fresh, maybe you got a garden, maybe you got whatever. Maybe they're on sale at your grocery store. Happen to get a really good deal on canned French style green beans. 39 cents a can. Awesome, picked up a couple dozen. Like to drain the water from mine. Like to add some butter, some garlic, and some onion. And they are gonna be just delicious. Not gonna need the oven, so I'm gonna shut that off now. And then we'll be ready for final result pretty soon here. Right. It is also extremely important when your steak is done, pull it aside and let it rest on the cutting board. For about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Let everything settle back down. All the juices flow back to where they're supposed to be. This is a great time to be finishing up your green beans, which are almost there. And you can always make a dinner roll with this. Some biscuits, whatever. It's not gonna bring up the overall cost of your meal too much. It's still gonna be cheap, still gonna be friendly, quick to make, and delicious. Can't wait to eat. All right, finished product coming your way. This could have easily fed 2 people. Or if you wanted to add a second steak, which I did grab, it just in the freezer, it would have been $4 more than the total. I'm just alone tonight, so finished product right there. Like I said, I would have made biscuits and stuff, but it's just me tonight, so this is plenty enough. There would have been plenty enough to add a second plate to this with the sides left over, even a third plate, depending on how big of eaters you got. We'll add them totals up later, and I will post and make a video about it. In the meantime, I'm gonna go eat.